Just want to know what this thing is on my forehead.
What's that? Do we have any doctors?
What is this?
I think it's just a scratch. It looks like a scrape.
When would I have scratched?
When Juno does this.
Juno hasn't done that to
Well,
me
she does
in
it
a
when she
long time.
sleeps sometimes.
She was not by my face.
That you know of. It could have been the ghost. The first...
Whatever happened to that guy? Jack Johnson. Remember that?
Sitting and wishing and hoping.
He was big for a bit.
And praying. Is that his song?
Yeah. And Banana Pancakes.
Make it a banana pancake.
Do you remember him?
Of course I do.
What happened to him? He just came and went.
Who knows? Hello everyone and welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
Board games.
And
Board gamey things.
Exactly. We're here today with another episode of Board Games and Brew.
Remember when I used to do this?
Yes. Ugh, so annoying. It's nice and hot. Today is a perfect topic for a Board Games and Brew. Why? Because we're talking about board games that you can play that are perfect to play while having a nice hot cup of joe. You're sitting at the table, maybe it's breakfast time, and you're having a drink of coffee, and you're playing a little game. And these are those games. So let's get into it. We got 10 games to recommend for you to have over a cup of hot coffee.
Or tea.
Or tea.
Or your hot bev of choice.
What about a glass of milk?
Sure.
Why not? Whatever you drink.
Your breakfast beverage of choice.
Breakfast beverage of choice.
But it doesn't have to be breakfast.
No, we drink coffee all the time.
Brunch.
That's true. Could be a brunch, could be a mid-afternoon tea, whatever. Just got a new hat. He's been,
California love.
Yeah, Jeff has been adopted into the Murph family. I have yet to been offered an adoption.
It's not any room for me.
So I'm just waiting on
Room
that.
for one.
Sitting, wishing, waiting, hoping. All right, the first game that we have on the list for you today is a game, it's probably our #1 coffee game. Would you say?
It's mine. I don't know if it's yours.
I think it might be mine too. And that is Cathedral World. There are various variations of Cathedral World. As an example, Cathedral
is the original.
It's the original, but Jeff and I have Cathedral World, which is a resin copy of the game. You will see its beauty in the B-roll. Basically, whether you have Cathedral World, wooden pieces, resin pieces, whatever, plastic, basically, you have a bunch of different shapes that represent different, like, iconic monuments and stuff in cathedrals.
In Cathedral World.
In Cathedral World.
Not in Cathedral.
And they are various different sizes and shapes, and you are trying to puzzle yourself into this kind of square grid better than your opponent can. You can block them off by like making a clear divide between you and the wall so they can't place any of their pieces in a certain section. But you're trying to get rid of all of your pieces in the square before your opponent can, or trying to block them off from being able to do that. It's just like a puzzle. That's all it is. It's not even like chess-like, but it has the same kind of maybe strategy, but it's not like, oh, this piece can move this way. It's just a little thinky puzzle that you can just sit down, sip a cup of coffee or whatever other kind of liquid you're into, and just turn by turn place out a piece. It's cozy, it's relaxing, it's competitive, it's strategic. It is fun.
Yeah, and you can just like leave it set up. It's kind of like a chessboard, really.
Just
leave it set up and play it when you want.
Yep, we have it currently sitting on top of our haunted antique cabinet.
Next up on the list is a game you've probably heard us talk about a ton. It is sitting behind us currently. It is Town 66 from Oink Games. Town 66 is a somewhat bag drafter. You're drafting tiles out of a bag in order to put into a collective town, essentially. And each tile has a different color and a different shape on it, and no two colors or shapes want to be next to each other. All of these neighbors want their independence. So you are taking these tiles and going one by one by placing a tile into a 6x6 grid.
I I don't remember.
I can't remember if it's 6x6 or 5x5. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
And ultimately, again, like, you can't place like colors or like shapes in the same row or column. So as the game goes along, it gets way more puzzly because there's a little bit of luck in terms of what tiles you draw. But there is definitely a lot of strategy in regards to making sure you don't kind of pigeonhole yourself into a situation where you can't play any of your tiles.
So fun. And you can play this game solo. It's a great solo coffee game. It's just like, you don't really have, not rules heavy. You don't really have to think about it. Very minimal setup. You just sit down with your beverage of choice.
Yep.
And you play the game. The next game on our list is Koale.
Koale.
Koale is another kind of like, almost like checkers-like game.
Abstract?
Like abstract, tic-tac-toe-esque type of game where you have a kind of board that has a grid on it, and one person is playing as one color, the red, and the other person is playing as the beige color. And you have these little wooden stones, and you're placing the stones out onto the grid one at a time, and you're moving them around in order to make a row of 4, I think it is. You might put one of your little pebbles out, but then you have to move the entire stack, dropping off the stones one by one. So by doing that, you could be putting some of your stones out onto the board.
And you're not allowed to move diagonally.
Not allowed to move diagonally. Or you could be putting your opponents out on the board. So you really have to think to make sure that you are not inadvertently setting your opponent up for success.
Correct.
Another game that has minimal setup, limited rules. It's very like tactile.
Very.
And it just kind of sits on the board and you're just kind of sitting there. You can sit there in silence and
it's
play.
Very beautiful too. The little stones
Pretty.
look like stones you'd find on like a riverbed or something.
Yes. And this recently came onto BGA. So if you'd like to try it there first, you definitely should. But there's like a whole series of these games. There's like Quattro, Koale, and etc. But we've only played this one and it is a perfect coffee game.
Yep.
Or to play with your drink of choice.
Next up, we have Boop. You missed.
I missed.
Boop
Gotcha.
is another, I guess, chess-like game, common theme here, where you are putting kittens onto a bed, and you're trying to boop your opponent's cats and kittens off of the bed. The objective is you start with a bunch of kittens, and if you get 3 kittens in a row, you are then allowed to upgrade those to cats. If you get 3 cats in a row, you win the game.
Win the game.
There's some other nuance to the game, but that's the basic premise. The one thing that makes this really puzzly and really challenging is every time you place a kitten, you will boop them 1 space away from yourself. So yours included. So if you place a kitten down, every kitten around that, if there's a space available, is going to move 1 away. Same as cats, so cats will boop other cats and kittens. Kittens will boop other kittens, but not cats, essentially. And again, first person to get 3 cats in a row wins.
It's very chill, right? It's not a rowdy game, although I suppose it could be, but you're just, placing cats out on a bed while you're drinking coffee or your beverage of choice.
It's like a zigzag now. You see it? It goes like up.
Maybe it's because you keep
down,
touching it.
up. You see it?
Oh yeah. There's like a...
It's like a V. Why would me touching my skin make a V pattern in my skin?
Because you went like this.
Don't you find that weird?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's unusual.
Can I Google it quick? Is that going to annoy you?
No. Oh my god, have you been initiated into a cult?
What's that mean?
That's a hairline. Like Dracula. What did you search? I don't think it's a thing.
No.
It's not a thing. What?
A V-shaped line between the eyebrows refers to a frown.
That's what I mean. Maybe you've just been frowning a lot and now you're... Yeah, look, Jeff, literally. You do that a lot when you think. And you know what you've been doing a lot lately? Playing XCOM. And you probably do that face when you play XCOM. Because you can't see.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
There's one right there, too.
Yeah. It's your wrinkles are
It
setting.
is. It really is.
Stop frowning.
It actually is lined up perfectly.
Yeah.
That's bonkers. Why is it doing that?
Because you're getting old and your skin is dry.
Do you think it's from me playing it?
It might be. have lupus. No, you got an XCOM face.
She's my video game face.
Oh my god. The next game that we have on the list is, we're pivoting now from type of game. It's going to be a flip and right, and that is Boomerang X. Boomerang Australia. Boomerang Europe. Boomerang USA.
We prefer Australia.
We prefer Australia.
But they get a little bit more...
They get progressively more difficult. Australia is the basic one.
They're not, like, difficult, though.
Then we have Europe, which is slightly more difficult.
Refined.
More refined. More refined.
Don't tell the Aussies.
What accent is that?
I don't know.
Cheerio, it's more refined there, isn't it? And then we have America!
America! Yeah!
Which is the most complicated of the versions. Because America's just a little bit complicated. So those are the three versions, but our preference is Boomerang Australia.
I think
it is, yeah. It's just because it's a little bit less of a
I did like
thinker.
Europe.
Europe was fun. So in Boomerang whatever, you are drafting a hand of 7 cards. And basically, you start with 7, you put one down, you pass. Put it down and pass until you have 7 cards laid out in front of you. And then you're just going through scoring objectives. There's 4 different scoring objectives per each round, basically. Plus you're trying to, like, get locations and stuff, okay? It's strategic, like, it's thinky, but it's not rules heavy, okay? And it's just one that you need to kind of, like, you check, see what do I have, how am I going to maximize. It's a maximizing type game, but very easy to play over a coffee or perhaps your favorite beverage.
Next up on the list, we have a classic. Chess-like, going back to the chess-likes game called Hive.
Yeah.
Hive is another one of those chess-like games where ultimately you are trying to surround
the queen bee.
The queen bee. And you have a bunch of different insect types, and they all have different movement abilities. So they're all hexagons. And each insect is allowed to move in certain patterns and land in certain areas. So it's really this tug of war between each player in order to move these insects around in order to surround the other player's queen. It's very thinky, very simple once you know kind of how everything moves. Just a really simple, thinky game to play while you're having your bevy.
Yeah, your coffee or perhaps your favorite beverage.
Yeah.
The next one we have, let's go back to like the roll and right, flip and right-esque type of game, okay? And we're now talking about herbaceous. Cozy theme, okay? Herbs. If you're from another place other than here. Herbs or herbs?
What do we say?
Herbs.
Whereas people say herbs?
Yeah, in some places
Where?
in the U.S.
Yeah, I feel like KFC says herbs.
Herbs and spices?
Yeah. Am I making that up?
No. I feel like anybody that says huge would also say herbs.
And so there's like no H.
Yeah. Yeah, if your
so
name
they
was,
wouldn't say they'd be like,
Or if your name was Howard, they say Howard, Henry, Herbert.
Hotel.
Hotel, motel, holiday inn. Herbaceous. You are... It's like
Herbaceous.
Herbaceous. It's like set collection, okay? So you're trying to collect different sets of herbs or herbs, and then you're trying to score different objectives. But essentially, like, there is a lot of optimization because you are taking cards from the middle, so you're, like, leaving some for other people, and you're taking some for yourself, so you're like, if I don't take this, then Jeff's gonna take this, and then he's gonna get that set and try and score that thing before I do, and blah, 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 blah. The whole theme of this in coffee games for us, apparently, is very light on the rule set, but puzzly, thinky, strategic, strategery, okay, is what you need, and that is herbaceous.
I feel like I should go back and redo Ive.
Next
up on our list, we have one that we've just recently fell in love with. We've played it on stream, we've played it a bunch on BGA, and that is My Shelfie.
You'd love to see it.
My Shelfie is the most recent take on, Connect 4, but more so in terms of just that grid-esque thing that you're clanking pieces down into. My Shelfie, you are ultimately playing out a bunch of different colors and the colors usually correspond with like books or trophies or cats or plants, etc. And you're placing it onto your bookshelf.
Your shelfie.
Every player has a communal board, which I believe is called the living room. And you are pulling stuff from that, and there's rules in what you can take, and then placing it into your shelf. Your basic objective is to get a bunch of different of similar light colors in clusters, as well as some global objectives. Very satisfying to drop those pieces into the shelf. Very cozy, very simple rule set, and very accessible and very puzzling.
Very puzzling.
Yeah, especially with the communal draft board that you're pulling pieces off of.
Very, very good. To enjoy over a cup of coffee or perhaps your favorite beverage.
God. Are you going to put a counter on how many times you say that?
I think I forgot to say it after herbaceous. Like an herb idiot.
What are you munching?
Stop eating. Stuff off the floor. The next one is a game that we've actually only ever played on BGA, and I would love to get a copy of this game. I actually think Lance has it, and that is called Shifting Stones. And this is a game where you are literally just shifting stones to try and complete different pattern objectives that you have. Problem is that you're shifting stones on your turn, working towards your pattern, and then the next people are also shifting. So you're constantly manipulating these stones until you can achieve your objectives. And once again, easy rule set, simple setup, strategic, thinky, puzzly, and you're just trying to manipulate the stones to score points. You can play this over a nice hot cup of coffee or perhaps favorite beverage.
I hate that. I hate that you keep saying that. Last up on the list,
I thought for a while that you didn't even notice that I was saying it. I was looking at you every time.
No, I noticed.
Okay, good.
What do you mean, okay, good?
I wanted to see.
Oh, you were doing it to annoy me. Oh, I gotcha. The last one on our list is maybe something you're going to have to do, because I don't know. Maybe you
Jeff forgot about this game, so let's
That's not true. I know what it is. But you know it better than you know it better than I do.
So the last game on our list is a button shy game. How could we even have a list without a button shy? Beats me. Guess we can't.
I feel like we have a lot of them.
So that is going to be Wonder Tales. In Wonder Tales, you are building out a grid. Okay, a different size and style of grid each round. One person plays as the red player, one person plays as the blue player, and you are placing out your cards of characters, fairy tale characters, into the grid to try and optimize and score the most points possible. As an example, you do not want Little Red Riding Hood next to the Big Bad Wolf. Okay, but you do want the Three Little Pigs all in a row. So you're trying to do that, but how the grid works is the blue player plays out a card, and then the red player has to play out a card, and so on and so forth, and you are just trying to kind of maximize your points while also blocking off the other player's points, and you do that, and it's best 2 out of 3. There is zero setup. The setup is you playing the game, shuffle the cards, play the game, but once again, you just need to think about what you're doing, and you're limited because you're drawing cards every round, so you're limited to the cards that you have, and some of the cards also allow you to manipulate what somebody else has done. The theme is adorable. It just goes well with this stuff we're talking about today. And there goes my brain.
People used to do that. I did it too soon. Too soon. Too late. Damn it. Now you did it too soon. Too soon. It's hard. Jamie, you need to edit this. Smarten up. That was bad. That was good. That one was better.
You can enjoy that over a nice hot cup of coffee, or perhaps
your favorite beverage.
Your favorite beverage. Whatever you want to do. Anyways, that is all that we have for you today. If you have any suggestions for coffee games to play over coffee, please let us know down in the description. We would Please let us know down in the comments. We would love to know. You don't have access to the description. Only I do. That is all that we have. If you're interested in buying board games, first you should start by checking out your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is
Boardroom Game Cafe.
Ting, 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 ting,
You didn't say like any of the many we've just chatted about.
I know. I messed myself up. I just tried to get spicy with it. What about snacks?
Love snacks.
Where should they go?
Lunch pack.
Definitely. We have $5 off coupon. Okay? It's a coupon.
A coupon.
A coupon.
Get me out of here.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see,
Please subscribe.
we hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
Later days.
Juno's like, time to eat dinner. Do you know the day that you're the most popular? It's your birthday. Not that today is my birthday. That's
I argue
come
when
and
you
gone.
die. More people know you when you die.
Depends on when you die. Like when we're old, no one's gonna care.
I ain't making it 60.
No one's gonna care about us. Do you know what I heard of a stat? That if
I'll
you're
be lucky to make
currently
55.
if you're currently under 40 right now or under 50 right now, you have a chance of living to be like 140 years old.
No chance.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked if I make it to 60.
Why do you say those things?
That's just true. It's how I feel.
Why though?
Why can't I just feel how I feel? That's how I feel.
Because you need to think positive thoughts. Long life.
I'm assuming this is a Saturday video.
Yeah. That's why we're brewing it up. Anyways, now that we've talked about all of our ailments, because we're halfway to 70.
It's not your birthday today.
It's not my birthday anymore. It's my birthday week still. It's got a mind of its own when it's short.
I know.
Jeff's growing his hair out again.
I am.
That didn't last long.
No.
But anyways, in this game, you are place it pass. Take one. What?
I was yawning. I don't know how you missed it. I was like, ah.
I know, Jeff, because when I edit, I have to edit out this constantly. That's the face you make. Because you overextend. Juno is eating cardboard.
I was waiting for you to say something.
Stop eating
Stop
cardboard, you little frigger. Anyways.
I'm surprised you lasted that long.
That's what she said. So.
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe go f yourself.
It's maybe f yourself.
Maybe f yourself.
That's what makes it funny. It's not maybe go f yourself, because that's not funny. It's maybe f yourself.
Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe f yourself.
There you go.